Hello, everyone. Welcome to the another episode of RG Podcast Young Minds. It's me, the host for today, Mukesh Dangal, with our lovely students. So, without any delay, let's get started. So, we have some questions today for you guys. It's related to your international educational trip to Egypt. So, before we start with the questions, and don't worry, it's not the exam questions. All right. So, can you introduce yourself very quickly?
I am Grishma Karki from Rajarshi Gurukul, studying in grade 8. I am Gritav, Agrawal, studying grade 5.
I'm Agraj, currently studying in ninth grade. So we'll start with the questions. So when did you guys go for the trip and how was the journey overall?
So we went to the trip on 12th of February and the trip was pretty good. Everything was managed in the airport and when we went to Egypt, Cairo. And the teachers were very helpful with the, visas and tickets and stuff. They directed us like everywhere we should go, where we should go.
All right. So how many teachers went and who went with you?
So 2 teachers went with us, Nori sir and Dipali ma'am, and they handled it pretty well.
All right. So how many of you were there all together?
We're about 40.
About 40. That's a big number. All right. So what was the main objective of this trip, Avraj?
Plus to learn the historical changes, what we have come through as a human civilization. Then we could see like what the old people used as their tools and how much we have progressed till then. And all the historical sites, they were amazing to see. Like we just thought we would see them in the books, but we actually got to see them in real life, and it was like an enlightening experience.
So how would you like, what was the experience? You were seeing those pyramids in your book. Now suddenly it's there in front of your eyes. So what was the experience?
Experience was that like the moment I saw and on the historical things, I was shocked. Like how old the things were, how were they created, and then how they.
All right, that's good. So what new things did you see there and what new did you learn?
Basically, we learned about the history of Egypt, and not only going in textbooks, we learned like how the workers there managed to do everything, and the history behind the pyramids were so awesome that like they shook us. And we also learned that life goes on with the workers and like how they were so hardworking with the pyramids and like to create everything there.
Interesting. So, Avras, can you please tell me like how beautiful was this place, Cairo, and what were the major tourist attractions there?
Okay, so first impression, I was looking out of my airplane window and I saw like this very desert kind of area. I would say the skies were very blue. It was like it barely rained over there. Cairo was a very developed city. Like it was very developed, right? Amazing first impressions overall, and the sights were really amazing to see. We went to various places, not only in Cairo, but we went to Suez Canal, we saw the pyramids, we went to the museum, we had a lot of activities, and it was honestly.
So, what's the best thing to visit in Cairo?
In Cairo, I would say, like, in Cairo, it was just a capital. We stayed there, we didn't, I think there was a museum there.
No, Cairo Museum.
I know, there's a museum, the International Museum of Egypt civilization. It was, it had a lot of beautiful things. We saw the actual bodies of mummies there.
No, that's interesting.
Crucial.
All right, I saw a mummy when I was visiting in this National Museum in Calcutta. I saw a real mummy there for the first time. I was like, my mind was completely like blasted. Like when I saw that thing, like, how it is wrapped up and how they are preserving that mummy for such a long time. That's really interesting, right? All right, so we'll move on with the other question. Can you share any unforgettable moment of the trip with your friends? We'll start with you first.
Most unforgettable things was like how big the blocks of the Pyramid of Giza were. They were about way too tall for me to even try to jump.
All right, so and you, along with your friends, you were like amazed with that thing, guys. So, any experience you guys are having with that?
Honestly, I don't really have a specific like really event that I had with friends. Everything was so amazing there. I couldn't name one specifically. Like we went to the pyramids of Giza. The museum was amazing as well. Suez Canal was really fun. I can't really name one specifically, but well,
Yeah, so like Agraj said, like every moment was so special and like so spectacular that, every like specific moment can't be specialized.
All right. So, did you face any kind of transit issues while traveling, while going or coming back? Was there any issues transit? Not really. It was very smooth. All right, excellent. So, overall, this trip was a fun trip or an educational trip. How do you see it?
It was a mix of both. It was really fun, and at the same time, we were learning a lot from the trip.
All right, so it was a mixed up experience. Yeah, definitely. I saw the videos. I saw you guys dancing in that cruise.
It is fun. It was fun, yeah.
All right. So, how were the people there? Were they like friendly or not friendly? What kind of people, like, you found there?
Like there was a language barrier, so really don't know how people would act.
All right.
Yeah, and buy things and stuff. They're very good with it,
All right.
I would say. And
So, like, when you're buying things, like, do we have that same culture, like what we have here in our country, Nepal? We bargain for like, things. So, do you bargain there in Egypt? So, did you? Yes, it makes a lot.
Like,
Of course, that's already there in like Nepalese people. Until and unless we don't bargain, like we don't feel comfortable, or we don't think that yes, I got it in like a lesser price or something like that. So it's there in our mentalities. So we practice that whenever or wherever we are traveling, right? And how was the cuisine? Like, was it similar to Nepalese or Indian cuisine there? The food?
not really, but like as Nepal has many seasonings in their food stock, they really don't, and they like savory food, and while we are here liking food with a lot of seasonings and all,
Spice.
and yeah, spice and all, and it was plain, but it was good.
It was good.
It was good.
It was like 10. Nice. So which one, like if you want to rate out of 10, how much would you like to give to the Egyptian cuisine?
so there we tried a lot of food. Like we went to the Cairo American College, and we had a cultural exchange, and they showed a lot of food. And there was this Wadi food, which are like it was like a roti, and inside there it was like grinded chickpeas.
All right.
And like the first impression was like I don't know, it was mixed, but I kind of liked it.
And the taste was good.
A mixed emotion. I don't really like it, but I did.
But how, still like the reading part is there, how much would you like to rate?
Like overall, I'd rate it like a 6.
6 out of 10. All right. So is it same with you guys? 6 out of 10?
Sunset.
I got it.
Switch in a very picky eater. I'll give it a 7.
All right, 7. Okay, good fight. But the overall they have a very good like taste, right? Yes. Right. So I heard that you guys also went to Alexandria. So can you please tell me how was the place, and is it similar to any part of Nepal, Alexandria, from any angle?
Not really. Okay. So, whereas Nepal is in the process of being developed, Alexandria had already been developed, and there were old buildings, and it was like ancient times, but like in the present. And whereas Nepal has new buildings in even the undeveloped areas, where the Alexandria had undeveloped or like ancient buildings there.
But like we also have in Nepal also we also have old buildings. Like our school is like here in Bhaktapur, so we have the Bhaktapur Dhamma Square, we have Patan Dhamma Square, and Bhaktapur itself is a very old town. So I think that should be the similarity between like Alexandria and Bhaktapur. Yes, right, both are old, ancient, and like yes. All right. So I heard you guys also went to Cairo American College. So what did you do there, and what new things you learned from that exchange program?
So we met a lot of new friends. Obviously, we made friends there. We had a cultural exchange. We had presentations over there. We had dance. We had music. We shared cultures, basically cultural exchange, and we tried their food. It was good, as already discussed.
Right, and how were the students there, like with in regards to the fluency, like I mean the accent, like what kind of accent they are? Like, did you had any kind of trouble understanding them?
And all, there were people from all of
Yes, they're very diverse.
we had Spain, Italy, so from everywhere, so we didn't really have a problem there.
All right, that's great. So we'll go with this last question. You stayed there for like 5 long days. So did you miss your home back? You missed a little bit. What about you, Agraj?
Yeah, I not really because I knew I'm like be back in like a few days. It's not a big deal.
Wasn't a big deal, right? So, well done. Now we have come to the end of this program. Thank you so much for watching us and keep listening to Young Minds. Namaste.